Hi, thanks, Jeff. And before I get going on this, I just want to answer a few questions. Oh, and to warn you that I have a starving cat, or cat who perceives that he is starving, that is wandering around at my feet. So I apologize for that noise. A few things that Dr. Doug brought up that I just wanted to talk to you about. The trading post. When I was there in 2017, I have never seen a quicker and more efficient check-in, check-out for your bags as I did at the trading post. They were incredibly efficient. I was very impressed with that. ISTs will be put together by national scouting organizations. So all the Canadians will be together, unless you are on a few very specific teams, such as fire, safety, police are all being done by function. Everybody else, and early morning food services, everybody else is done by their contingent. So all the Canadians will be together. Food services, the dining hall is absolutely humongous. I have been to the Canadian Jamborees and seen big tents there. No. This is humongous, and it moves with incredible speed. And the food selection is amazing. I was just blown away with it. I was very, very impressed. There will be no bicycles on site. The site is just not conducive to bicycles. That was a long discussion at the executive level, and that's the decision they came up with. So those are just a few things that Dr. Doug spoke about that I just wanted to add some insight into. So I have not had the advantage of having been to a World Jamboree, although I've done lots of Canadian and 2 adventures, and I've also been a part of helped run 12 multi-sport games, which aren't very different from a Jamboree. So I hope that with the wonderful people I have working with me, that we'll be able to take care of everything. I want to start by talking to you about Arrival Day. Arrival Day is crazy. You know, everybody's new, nobody knows where they are. And so my best advice is stay calm and scout on. You will be arriving on the 22nd. The American and the Mexican contingents come in on the 21st. Everybody else is coming in on the 22nd. You will be coming in by bus because you're coming from Washington, D.C. So you're going to, and that is going to be set up for you by the Canadian contingent. I've been in touch with them, and they take care of that for you. First thing, so, and then on the right-hand side of the screen, I've put some useful acronyms. SBR is the summit.
Hang on one sec. Laura, could you share your screen? Because right now we just see you.
Oh, you're kidding me.
Nope.
Thank you for telling me that. Okay, just a second.
No problem.
Got it. Got to go back here. I thought I had pressed all the right buttons.
It's okay.
Here we are. Okay, see you. Alt S is going to help me. Okay.
No, for you, just hit share screen at the bottom. There's the green box. Remember? Yeah. So hit the green box, and you will take over our screen.
Yeah, no, I know. I just have to get the green box back.
Oh.
Chris, you've just become very small on the top of it.
Click on the windows with all our faces.
Here we are. Okay, so there I am. I've hit it. Does it look to you like I've hit it?
Nope. No, it looks, I can still see you. You're big.
I don't want to be big.
So you've hit the shared screen and it's not sharing for you?
No, just a second. I've got to get you. Okay, it's on chat. Share. And when I hit share, how about, what happens if I go here?
There you go. So now you become little, and now we can see your screen.
Okay.
So
and in a second, I'm just going to put it on slide.
Correct. Perfect.
Is that good?
I knew that you had, I knew you were just doing some talking. I didn't realize you were into your presentation.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. My apologies, everybody. You will know, if you have the joys of being in Subcamp C, I am not technical, but I have asked somebody to be my tech person. So here we are, some useful acronyms. SBR is Summit Bechtel Reserve. NSO, National Scout Organization, what we would call Scouts Canada. IST, I saw somebody put a question in about that. It's what we in Canada would call an OOS, offer of service. It's all our volunteers. And then BSA, which is Boy Scouts of America. When you arrive, you will pull into this lovely building on the left-hand side. That's called the Ruby Welcome Center. It's about 5 kilometers outside of camp, and this is where you are processed. As you are coming in buses, all of you will get off the bus. You will all go in here. You will be directed. They will ask you a health questionnaire, and one of the first questions on the questionnaire is, have you been outside of continental US in the last 48 hours? And as you will have been in Washington, D.C. since the 18th of July, you can say no, and you will be processed very quickly. All adults need to show that they've done their safe from harm training. If you don't have your certificate, you'll be pulled aside and you will not be allowed on site. Once you have been all processed and you've gotten your ID card that Scott was telling about, you will get back on your bus and you will have 2 new passengers, one young person who is a member of the Order of the Arrow, and they're a young person, so they're going to be pumping up the youth and telling them about all the great activities. And there also will be a base or sub-camp staff member on there to talk to the scouters and unit scouters and patrol leaders and give them a little bit of the lay of the land about what's going to happen to them next. Here's a picture of the buses coming in 2017. And if you go to the very top of the screen, you will see a URL for a video, which I highly recommend you watch, especially the first 3 or 4 minutes. It shows just how easy, how orderly they bring in people. There are buses arriving every 120 seconds from 5 a.m. till midnight. And this video shows how easy it is to unload when you don't have troop gear. Many of you have horror stories of, having to load all your stuff out of your vans into cargo vans, which then don't get to your sub camp when you do. No, because all your gear is there, you just have your personal gear. There's some good examples in this video of how you put together the gear. There's a quick look at the first trip to the grocery store, first meals, and then some early activities. So once again, my advice for day 1 is stay cheerful, stay hydrated, and believe that if it's not perfect now, we can make it better. And a little note, the grocery shopping that first day the grocery store is open from 9 a.m. till 7 p.m. And don't worry, if we have troops coming in later than that, we will be able to accommodate them. As you guys are coming from Washington, D.C., and you're a contingent that does their paperwork, there will be no problems. You'll get in there. I presume you'll be in there about between noon and 3. Scott spoke about how big things are. So I wanted to show you this picture. This is an aerial view of 2 of the 6 base camps. Every base camp has a different color tent for the youth. The green are as base and sub camp A, and the red are B. These guys are so far away. I was there for 7 days before I even got over to this place. You can see the mountains in the back. You can see the mist rising. The site that we are on used to be an old working coal mine, and they actually filled the old underground coal mines with water. So there's some very interesting temperature variations at time, and you do get a lot of mist in the morning. But I just wanted you to see just how big these sites are and how mountainous things are. You walk far, you walk up, you walk down, you walk up, you walk down, you walk up again. So it's a good workout. And here is a look at Base Camp C for Charlie, or Canadian Rockies, and Subcamp C2, also known as Centennial Hall. I've put a coding on here. So 1 and 2, 1 is up at the base camp. Every base camp has 4 subcamps. 2 is medical. The Americans are incredibly proud of their medical and what the medical they will provide to you. You can get medical here, everything from of popped wire on your braces, needing new glasses, jammed finger, everything. And each base camp has a staff of 73 medical staff on it. Number 3 and 4 is actually the sub-camp headquarters for C2. 3 is as an outdoor shelter, a gathering spot. 4 is the headquarters. 5 is a grocery store, and you can see the big 53-foot reefer trailer pulled up to it. And there's quite a lot of area out in front of it, which is great because those big reefers have to turn. And then 6 will be our base camp bash spot and our playing fields, which will be lots of fun. 7 is just showing you where some of the wash houses are. Each of the wash houses, they come in groups of 3. And as Scott said, they are identified for women under 18, women over 18, men under 18, men over 18. And then 8 is just the unit campsites. The white tents are the scouters' tents, which I think is a pretty neat idea. Scouters, unit scouters, you're on your own. You have your own tent. And as Scott mentioned, the other tents have 2 youth in them. When you arrive at your campsite, there will be a pod of shrink-wrapped material that then you unpack, and that is how you put everything up. There will be guidance given to you. You can see where in this picture where most of the dining shelters are in the same spot. That advice will be given to you by your sub-camp staff who will work with you. Any questions you have, we are there to help you. Next slide is your sub-camp. There are 18 participant sub-camps, each with about 2,000 people or 50 units. You can read all this, but your sub-camp staff will do everything they can to help you, so they'd like you to like them in return. Currently in C, we have 125 staff from 24 different countries. Some fun things to do in and know about your sub-camp is, get to know your neighbors. You might speak a different language, but a smile is universal. Here's a good thing to remember. Many of the people you meet will speak English as a 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th language. The day they arrive and you arrive, just think how tired you are and you still get to think in English. They are still in translation mode. And it will take them a couple of days to get up to feeling comfortable to speak in English. So if somebody isn't overly friendly to you day 1, don't take it as anything other than exhaustion and overstimulation and trying to figure out things. And I say here, use signs and gestures to communicate. I mean pleasant gestures. And even when English is a common language, there are a lot of translation challenges. The Americans call their support scouters in a sub-camp a commissioner. Well, that's not what I think a commissioner is, and it's not what the Brits think it is. So it's like super confusing. So, my favorite one, the Americans still use Fahrenheit. I was just down in Dallas and everybody told me it was going to be 28 degrees the next day, and I was excited because I was coming from Toronto. 28, I'm going to wear flip-flops. No, they meant 28 Fahrenheit, which is -2 Celsius. So there will be many, many translation mistakes. Don't worry, just roll with it. Novus. So ever since the 11th World Jamboree, there has been a friendship game, which is to encourage people to do lots of different activities while they're at the Jamboree. And this time we're going electronic, and everybody, when you register, you get this bracelet, and you can see a picture of it here. And I saw it demonstrated. So 2 people walk up to each other, they say hi, they want to exchange information, they click their bracelets, lights go off, noises are made, and they are now connected. But they're going to use this for more than just exchanging information. It will be able to tell you what the wait times are like at various activities. They'll be able to verify everybody who's got their specific training for different things that they need, not particularly germane to participants, but definitely to unit and IST. And they'll do heat maps just showing where things are located. Here's a slide that was provided to us a couple of weeks ago. They're also using it so you can collect points, and with points you get electronic patches or badges, different things like that. You will learn more about this. Again, I am not a technology person, but this is going to be cool. They ran it as a test at a big conference they ran a year ago, and it was very successful. And I think it's going to be a lot of fun. And these are waterproof and showerproof. You're supposed to put it on at the beginning and not take it off until you go home. If you lose it, we have ways of tracking whose it is. I just wanted to add a few things about food and food shopping. We're on a grocery store, so there's no set menu for each day. If you guys want to have sloppy joes every night for 4 nights in a row, you can go and shop for that. Scott talked about it being a points-based system. The points are reset every day at noon. Phone-based app. As you're coming from Canada, it's not a huge issue. It is a bit of an issue for some of the overseas countries. There's very little cooking, mostly reheating. That is due to the West Virginia health regulations and the Summit waste management system. The Summit cannot absorb grease. I saw somebody put in the comments, we'll bring our frying pans. You don't get any oil, butter, or margarine in your Staples baskets. The only thing you get is a bit of spray Pam type stuff, because the Summit sustainability water management system cannot absorb grease the way a normal can. So it's really going to behoove you to learn how to work within the food that they're giving you. And the menu ideas and recipes are going to be published in March. Special diet food, they actually have coolers that have kosher, halal, gluten-sensitive, vegan, vegetarian, nuts-free, and dairy-free in every grocery store. And they're set aside. If you have any trouble finding this kind of information and you need it, just go to one of the grocery staff and they'll be more than happy to help you. Here's just a picture of the grocery stores. It's like being in the world's biggest big box store, except there's no, it's in a tent. I also thought I should just let you know what you need spending money for and what's free. So all unit food at the grocery store is free. All the activities are free. There's water carousels throughout the camp. The water is delicious. Your medical care is all free. Wi-Fi is free. Solar recharging is free. What you need spending money for? They have cantinas around camp, which are fast food joints, basically. Many of the national Scout organizations will have food houses, including the Canadian contingent. Anything you purchase in there, you need funds for. And then the trading post. The trading post not only has souvenirs, t-shirts, and all that, but excuse me, they also have personal care items. So if you run out of aloe gel, or you need new lip goop or lip balm or something like that, you can certainly get those at the trading post. Culture Day. This is something that happens at every World Jam, and it's Friday the 26th. It's a special day. There's no programs and no visitors. And we want you to come prepared to share your Canadian culture with your new friends from 150 different countries. And that's going to take a variety of different formats. It's still under development, but I'm very happy to say I've just recently found out that the person who's leading this Culture Day is our own John Estrella, recently our Chief Commissioner, a National Commissioner, and if anybody can pull this off, he can. So your job as units is to come with things that you can share: food, games, songs, dances, national dress. I thought we should, as Canadians, should all learn the Stomp and Tong Connors good old hockey game song and teach it to the world. And in the evening, there's a cultural unity stadium show. So the big thing is talk it up, figure out with your patrols and your units how you want to express Canadian culture. And because we are one of the 3 co-hosts, it's going to be important for us to really show the Canadian flag. Last slide is how to get ready for the Jamboree. Be in good physical shape. walk, walk, walk. When I was there in 2017, I was in meetings from 9 to 4 every day, and I was still clocking 23,000 steps on my pedometer. Nothing is close by, but everything is worth walking to. The surface, when they took over this site, they used everything that was on the site. So they ground up the rock on the site, and that's what paves the road. So the roads are not flat. That's one of the reasons there's no bicycles. So things like my ankles were sore at the end of every day. Weather. It was hot when I was there. But I would wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning and be freezing. So, but I rarely needed a hoodie at night. So it was interesting. Also, I did not get one mosquito bite, and the mosquitoes love me. So that was really good. There are frequent rain showers, and there's mud after the rain. So be prepared. But most important, have fun. This will be an experience of the lifetime. And know that if you have a question or something's of concern to you, there are people there to make it better.